In this video, we are going to study the revenue structure under monopoly. Monopoly. The term monopoly is derived from two different words, that is mono and poly. Mono means single and poly is nothing but seller. So monopoly is a market which is controlled by a single seller. Or I can say that the supply of a commodity is controlled only by a single seller under monopoly. Now, let's analyze the revenue structure under monopoly. See, the pricing strategy followed by a monopolist is different than the pricing strategy followed by the sellers operating under perfect competition. Under perfect competition, the price of the commodity remains constant. But under monopoly, it is said that if the customer is purchasing more quantity than as a seller, you will have to reduce the price of the commodity. Or it is said that it's better that you reduce the price of the commodity. Now, many students may assume that, sir, the monopolist is the only seller of the commodity in the market, so why should he reduce the price? Always keep this in mind, guys. As a seller, it's possible, or as a monopolist, it's possible that today you have monopoly in the market, but future is always uncertain. So today, if you give some benefit to the customer, definitely in future the customer may support you even if the competition rises in the market. That is the reason why when the quantity increases, the price per unit under monopoly will go down. If you analyze the table, you'll come to know that when the customer purchases 1 unit of the commodity, the price is 10 rupees per unit. When the customer purchases 2 units of the commodity, the price falls to 9 rupees per unit. When the customer purchases 3 units of the commodity, the price falls to 8 rupees per unit, and so on. But remember this thing, as a seller or as a monopolist, you will have to reduce the price, but you cannot reduce the price beyond a particular level. If you analyze this table, you'll come to know that the producer can reduce the price till 6 rupees or till, sorry, the producer can reduce the price till 5 rupees. Because if he reduces the price below 5 rupees, let's assume that he charges 4 rupees from the customer for 7 units, then in that case, his marginal revenue is negative. And negative marginal revenue is definitely not preferred by the seller. So at the most, as a seller, you can reduce the price to 5 rupees. If you analyze this table, you'll come to know that under monopoly, the total revenue rises in the initial stage, remains constant for some time, and thereafter it falls. It rises from 10 to 18, 18 to 24, 24 to 28, 28 to 30, remains constant for some time, 30, 30, and thereafter it falls. From 30, the total revenue comes down to 28 rupees. Average revenue, as I told you, it indicates the price of the commodity. Average revenue in the first case is 10, in the second case is 9, third case is 8, and so on. Marginal revenue, as we all know, it's nothing but the additional revenue. When 0 units are sold, output level is 0. When 1 unit is sold, when 0 units are sold, total revenue is 0. When 1 unit is sold, total revenue rises by 10 rupees. When 1 unit is sold, total revenue is 10. When 2 units are sold, total revenue is 18. It means when an additional unit is sold in the market, the revenue rises by 18 the revenue rises by 8 rupees. That is the reason why for unit number 2, margin revenue is 8. In case of 2 units, total revenue is 18. In case of 3 units, total revenue is 24. It means in case of the third unit, revenue rises by 6 rupees. And the same logic is followed in the remaining part of this particular table. If we analyze the graph which is based on this table, we can conclude that under monopoly, the total revenue rises in the initial stage, remains constant for some time, thereafter it falls. Average revenue and marginal revenue will diminish or decrease under monopoly. But always keep this in mind. Average revenue will fall, margin revenue will also fall, but the fall in margin revenue would be more than the fall in average revenue. That is the reason why average revenue curve lies above marginal revenue. And an important point, average revenue indicates the price of the commodity. So the price of the commodity can never be negative. So average revenue is always a positive value. Margin revenue, it can be positive, it can be 0, and it can be negative. And it is said that when margin and revenue is zero, total revenue is maximum. When margin revenue is zero, total revenue is maximum. So this is the basic structure or the basic revenue structure followed by a monopolist. Thank you.